Hello, everybody. Welcome to my channel, Marianne's Mystic Mentions. Welcome to your July readings. I have been reading around the zodiac, as I always do, and I'm pulling out usually about one reading per day. I'm a slower reader, but I mean in the sense that I don't pump them out as regularly, but I've been doing it this way for quite some time. Hopefully that's good for a lot of you. I like to take my time and really kind of go over a few things. So if you're new to my channel, welcome to my channel, and welcome to the tarot divinations I use, the oracle divinations, and the love connection I always like to pick for each and every sign, just to kind of give them an idea of what could be happening. Nothing's ever absolute. You know this, I hope, and this is how I always like to preface all of my readings. But I will tell you a lot of the readings thus far have been pretty amazing and very dynamic, with a lot of major arcana showing through. And today's featured sign is the sign of Taurus. Taurus, we have some important aspects that are affecting you specifically, and then of course all of us, because we all get affected by the planets. And if you have Taurus in your chart or other earth signs, which is what the element of Taurus is, you're going to feel it maybe more than a water sign, air sign, or earth sign. But either way, I feel very positive on the whole about this month. And yes, there's going to be some heavy hitter squares, as they call it, where things are more challenging, and they're an impetus for us to really work through things. And it's an invitation to use our strength and our power and our, innovative selves to get to a better place. I don't even know how else to say it. It's really that simple, but a lot of that's happened already, thankfully. We did come into July with this still, and we'll still have it for weeks to come, I would say, with the new moon in Cancer, and that was on the 28th of June. And so, yes, today I'm actually reading, it is the 6th of July. I hope everybody had a beautiful 4th of July. We are in Cancer season, so the new moon in Cancer would be very effective, I would say, for water signs, of course, and then for everybody. Once again, it is about the emotions. The water signs are all about their emotions. That's how they live, thrive, they feel, they sense. Very sensitive, very emotional, very creative. And it's about love. It's about opening up our heart. So it's perfect for my channel as far as the love connections. Remembering all forms of love, okay? Not just romantic, but absolutely this month romance would be very much, I think, a part of the picture. If it's not already happening, it could very, very easily, it could be time you meet somebody, okay? And of course we have the influence with Cancer of more home related things, maybe, projects you want to do, or just being home with the ones you feel really comfortable with, spouse, family, animals, what have you. It just feels like you really would prefer to be in that type of frame of mind and environment, as opposed to just, getting out more and all that. That's coming in the second half of July, though, I can promise. So it's nice to have a little bit of both worlds. A lot of months do that, because you usually change the sun sign. Not always, but we will be in Cancer season until the 22nd. Some people say the 23rd, the 22nd of July, when it then enters Leo. And that is very, very fiery, passionate, also heart-centered. Leos are very, very love-oriented. They're very, like I said, passionate. And when I think of passion, I think of the heart. I do. And they're just very motivated, and they're the sun-ruled sign. And, as I've said before many times, Cancer is the moon-ruled sign. So we've got the biggest stars and the biggest planets in our galaxy that are going to be working with us, I would say, more than not, because we have a bunch of wide open energy this month, and moving into August as well. Yes, we have retrogrades in the outer planets. This happens every year, and we're also going to be having Chiron go retrograde on the 19th. Chiron is the wounded healer, so it could affect your relationships and wanting to work through things and to mend things, or to, separate once and for all, which can also be a way to mend, yes. And then we have Jupiter, that's been in the sign of Aries since May 10th, retrograding on the 28th. And the full moon on the 13th, next week, is going to be a powerful, powerful moon that I think is going to be extremely positive in a lot of ways. It is a full moon in Capricorn. It is Pluto ruled. Pluto is about, once again, you know, our power, our beliefs, you know, strengthening our desire to be and become exactly who we want to, and not believing anything less, and working through our shadow side or our lack of confidence and self-belief. We can be very, very critical when it comes to Pluto. It has to do with our health and our well-being, and you know, Capricorn's an earth sign, so anything having to do with earth, and then there's you, Taurus. We're reading for you. It's your feature sign. That's going to be extremely good. It's a compatible, harmonious energy for you, being in a fellow earth sign. And then we have the, I did mention, no I didn't, the new moon after we enter into Leo season, which is fiery and passionate and, you know, creative and fun. I mean, there's parties and there's extravagance and there's sensual things happening, and passionate intimacy can be very much highlighted. We've definitely had relationships and romance being a key part of the feelings for a lot of people, because once Jupiter, the benevolent planet that only enters our sign every 12 years, entered into Aries, the first sign of the zodiac, the fire element, the, you know, the leader, the cardinal, let's get things going, that strong push forward energy, you know. And I know I felt it. I certainly hope you did, because we had a lot of retrogrades and a lot of things happening. I had to be home from a surgery, and then it was all systems go, and it's been that way, so it's going to continue. And when Jupiter entered into Aries, first of all, Aries is ruled by Mars, and anytime there's something happening in Aries, it automatically kind of ignites the 7th house, which is the house of relationships. It represents Libra, and Libra is Venus ruled. So you've got Mars and Venus, the romantic lovers of the cosmos, you know, and they're doing a dance. And yeah, you work through things, but you also get closer, and you also, you know, make commitments, and you also strengthen your bond. And it's been really, really exciting for a lot of people that are in relationships, or who want to be, because it's an ample time to be able to meet people, you know, getting out on vacations and going places you haven't been, being invited to parties and such. Like I said, even with Cancers love a good party. It might be at their home, you know, they're happy to have you, more than happy to be accommodating and be the best hostess or host. You know, that's what they do. Yeah, there's a gorgeous amount of heart-centered and also physical, ambitious strength, courage when it comes to Leo. Once again, very strong about courage and showing us just how powerful we really are. And then we have Jupiter actually going into retrograde on the 28th. So the new moon is on the 28th as well. That happens at the same time. And that's just being more internalized. And Jupiter will still have its effects. It will lawn a little bit, but that's okay. The gifts are there, okay? And they'll be there, Aries, if you happen to be watching or cross-watching for Taurus. Anybody with Aries placement, Taurus, you may have Aries in your chart. But before I forget and I move on, there's a very important, potent energy that has to do with you, Taurus, because Uranus, the planet of unpredictability, you know, extremely related to technology and new ideas and new inventions, you know, freedom-seeking, masculine, energetic, out of the box, you know, ideas, out of a conventional way to look at things, is going to be conjuncting the North Node. And guess whose sign the North Node is in, and has been since we started the newer eclipse seasons, you know, as of last year, starting with Taurus. That's where I'm getting to. It's you, Taurus. It started last November. We had one more new moon in Sagittarius, and then since then, we've already had it at the latter part of May and June, or April and June. It was, excuse me, April and May. New moon in Taurus, and then full moon in Scorpio. We're still feeling those effects. We'll still continue to get and unravel the information, but it has slowed down. The energy is not quite as frazzled and as eccentric, and it does create a lot more energy of, you know, just, I don't know how else to, it's electric. It's the moon and the new moon's on steroids. It's very powerful. It's for our benefit. And the messages keep coming, and some things happen quick, and sometimes it happens over the duration of time that it could be upwards of 6 months or longer. So you're the North Node right now, and the North Node being in Taurus, and Uranus has been in your sign since, I believe it's 2020, and it will be there for a while. The outer planets that go into each individual astrology sign usually are there quite a bit longer than the personal planets like Mars, Venus, and Jupiter. So that's going to affect you, but I honestly can tell you, and I believe this, and I feel like if you believe it too, Taurus, and you want it enough, and I know you do, I know how you can be, I know how dedicated you are as an earth sign, I know how steadfast you're a fixed sign, and how loyal and how, you know, hardworking, and how much you love luxury and money. You're ruled by Venus, as is Libra, so there's automatically this magical kind of dust that surrounds you from the time you were born, but you're very insightful and very intuitive, and you have that feminine quality as a man, whether you're a man or not. You sense things, you love, you know, getting your hands dirty, you love planting the seeds that you know, because you're patient and you're, you know, you're steadfast. You just will continue to do what needs to be done until you reap the rewards, and you generally do. So the conjunction could be an amazing thing that's going to happen and surprise you in a very, very positive way. And I feel, because it's Taurus and it's your sign, it could very well have to do with unexpected inheritance or windfalls and that sort of thing. You know, maybe investments that really took off. And I know things are crazy in the world right now. I don't really focus on a lot of that, nor do I speak about it on my channel, but it's just to show you that just when you think things aren't going to get better, they absolutely do. And that's something I will always invite you to think it on my channel, for sure. So those are the highlights that I wanted to share with you. And now I'd like to pick your, you know, love connection, spiritly guided connection message, because this could be another sign, it could be a person, certainly the energy itself that you're very familiar with, you want to be connected to, and you've been connected to, or somebody that you don't know yet that could be coming into your life. And I always ask that if it is what it's saying, that you'll do me a favor. If you have not subscribed, push that subscribe button for me. Join my tribe. I would love to have you here. There's never enough people, like-minded people together. We can move mountains. We can bring out love that's beyond our wildest imaginations. Connecting is important, more than it's been in so many years after not being able to. And I'd like to be a conduit for that happening. So yes, but also you can comment to me if things are ridiculously accurate as far as, and you're connecting and you're resonating with the reading. And if it doesn't happen right away, please give it time, because there's no linear time with spirit, as you may hear on many channels. It's divine timing, and it's always there to help us. But also, if it's not working with your sun, check your moon, your rising, that's also an ascendant, and your Venus, because there's so much more to you, you know, and it's really exciting and interesting, and I can never get enough. So your love connection right off the bat, and you love, and you hard and deep, you do. You when you're in love, you're there for the long haul, you know. And I know so many from doing readings over the years and whatnot, so many earth signs that they'll fight to the bitter end if they want to be in a relationship. And they're usually the ones that I hear have been in a relationship for 20, 30, 40 years. I know things happen. There's so much having to do with what other placements are in your chart. And then, of course, how you were raised in nurture versus nature. All those things do go into it. But trust me when I tell you, 9 out of 10 times when I'm doing readings and it's a long-term relationship, it's because one of the signs is an earth sign. Just saying. If you're both earth signs, you're never splitting up. So it's a general reading. But your beautiful love-connected relationship for the month of July is Leo. Bam, man. And I know Leo and Taurus, I can't tell you, including in my own family, my mother's third husband was a Leo. My mother, well, she was on the cusp. She was May 20th. She's a Taurus / Gemini, but so many relationships, and they're such strong couples. I mean, yes, they each have their own beliefs. Both are fixed signs. So the best thing to do is either just accept right off the bat, be willing to compromise, absolutely work from and love from your heart, no matter what kind of relationship it is. But know that this power couple, which my mom and my stepfather were, they were both, musicians and singers and stuff. So they had a show they would do together, and that kept them together for a long time, because it was that beautiful, connection, and it was artistic and creative, and that's always very stimulating, I find, for a lot of relationships, no matter what that may be. So that's what's coming up for you, but we're also going into Leo season. So you're probably picking up, or maybe with somebody already that is Leo, or has that somewhere in their chart predominantly, and it's feeling really powerful and strong, and it's feeling really, I would say, very sensual and very, very physically attractive. I really mean that. So yeah, stay tuned. Let me know. Now, I would also want to say, if for any reason you're not knowing anybody you can think of, it is actually, like I said, the beginning of Leo season is this month, starting 22nd, 23rd, and it runs through August 22nd, 23rd. Yeah. So, yeah, you never know. You never know what's coming down the pike, especially with that Uranus. It doesn't have to be money all the time. I mentioned that. It could mean that your health has taken an incredible turn for the better. You've started a new regiment of exercise, like myself, where I'm strengthening my body. I am making up for lost time, and that we had Mars go in your sign. I knew there was something else, Taurus. That happened on July 5th. It had been in Aries. And so you've got a lot of beautiful energy working with you to motivate you even more, okay? And Mars is, it's a fiery, passionate kind of energy. So I don't know. I feel good about it. Let's see what the cards say for you. I do pick a card for each week, and we're still in the first week. And so let's see what you feel and what the energy's been like coming straight through into July, okay? Because we had a little bit of a fiery setup happening on the starting from the actual new moon, and then it was Pluto, and I think Pluto and Mars, like the strongest, powerful warrior kind of, other than Jupiter and Uranus, actually. Oh, okay, so you have the world, and I mean, that's a major arcana. So right off the bat, when you get a major arcana, it's this universe saying, we want you to know about this. We want you to pay attention. Things are changing. Things are transforming in huge, huge ways. You are ending one cycle, absolutely starting another. You may have already started this since the new moon, or one prior to that. When we had the new moon eclipse in your sign, I could see that some things were definitely starting to change inwardly and outwardly for you. It means you have the world in your hand, and it means that you could be very much connected to international aspects of life, whether it be a relationship, like I said, or, a job, and, you could be in the comfort of your own home in any country to be able to make that happen, which is the incredible, miraculous thing about life, right? And how we've been able to make that happen, and more things will continue to surprise us, I'm sure, with technology. It's ever growing and changing with this influence of Uranus, as I mentioned, in Taurus, which has to do with the earth and you know, what's happening, yes, in your home and in your private life, but on the planet at large. So I don't know, this is pretty powerful stuff. And there you are. You're in charge of basically what's, it's also, I want to say karmic though too. I fully believe that when it's the world, it's just the cycles and the changes that come for all of us, but it's in our due time. And that's what's happening for you. Beautiful, beautiful Taurus. I mean, to have the eclipses in your sign, that doesn't happen. Well, it happens for about 2.5 years in the 2 signs that I mentioned, because it's the polar opposite signs each time, and there's, you know, 12 zodiac signs, so you can do the math. But it's on for you, and it's going to be way more effective because it's the North Node is in your sign. The North Node represents your destiny and where you want to head. The South is usually, you know, kind of letting go of things from your past and really focusing on the future. And I see that in the world as well. And you know, a lot of times maybe you want to retire, maybe it's not about a job or it's not about a relationship. You're just like, oh my gosh, it's my time. I'm going to stop working like I've done since I was, who knows, with you, 10, I don't know, and just reap the benefits now and do the traveling and you know, go on the cruises and do everything you feel and you prayed and wanted, and make the rest of your life the best of your life, really. So the second week is kind of fun and exciting too, because it does have this new full moon in your fellow sign of Capricorn I mentioned. And I see it as being extremely harmonious and positive. You know, cardinal sign Capricorn is about business, and they're very, very resourceful, and they're very interested in making money as well. I know a lot of Capricorn and Taurus friendships, partnerships. Perhaps you're aware of this yourself right now. And so I think it's going to shine a light on things and culminate things that have started from the new moon in Cancer, and it will continue. But really exciting things. And keep in mind, it could have to do with foreign lands. So for that you have the Page of Pentacles. Yeah, I was looking, I don't have my glasses. Let me put on my cheaters. I went and got about 3 more pairs, because you got to have them all over the place, right? Page of Pentacles. Page is new. Page is beginnings. Page is the turn of a you know, cycle, the transformation and the beginning, the freshness, the youthfulness of it, maybe having to do with children. Now that's very possible depending on what cycle you are in your life, that you are ready to commit to a family and to start making babies, you know, in one way or another. I don't know how that would be. Only you know that. And I think it's absolutely a very strong possibility for, there's billions of people in the world, for a good percentage of you. That a lot of times is what the page represents. It also represents a child already living, and you're, you know, something's happening where you want to help that child, perhaps, because that's not unlike you, Taurus. You do care a lot about family. That is part of your grounded aspect. You do want to teach and show them how to, you know, prosper in their lives, and you're going to help them wherever you can. And also it could be just really, truly, which I love to bring up, is just remembering your inner child, your childlike fun times, and allowing yourself to stop work if you're working and get yourself out there into a vacation. July has all the makings of really fun times for that. And through August, I would say, even later, but then we go into the shadow period of the Mercury retrograde, and then the upcoming next series of eclipses. So make it happen. I know you probably are, or if you're not, you're planning it. You're good at planning. And it's just about it could be definitely about investments, especially when it comes to you, because you're very wise and you care a lot about the proper ones, and you're not going to just be willy-nilly about how you go about that. I just know this, you know. I know a lot of Taurus clients that are involved in financial, you know, type of jobs that have given me some amazing tips. So that's something to keep in mind with that full moon in the second week. Now the third week, we're going into the Leo, your love connection message for this month. So once again, I'm thinking fun. I'm thinking being in the limelight. I'm thinking, you know, honing up your leadership skills, which you already have anyway, and just shining, you know, that sun ruled, beautiful, fiery, passionate. You're an earth sign, doesn't matter, you know. It affects all of us, where we just want to really express ourselves in some way, or we want to really enjoy and create and manifest, and all the things that, you know, we're here on this earth to do. And it comes easier at different times of the year. This is one of those times where you're spot on with what you're wanting to do and how things will come out. So let's see what the card says. Woo! Wow. Well, also, I don't want to forget, I am using this beautiful Gilded Tarot by Sarah Machete. It's such a beautiful deck. I did a reading yesterday, and it was for a client that just, I don't know, it was really a great reading. They're all great readings. I love the messages because they guide us, and they can give us insight, and they can, you know, inspire us, hopefully. That's the whole idea of it, with still having free reign and free choice. But you have the Lovers. I don't know how this represents the sign of Gemini, but more importantly, it's the Lovers. Okay, now what have we been talking about? Passion, passion, passion. Leo season. You know, you're passionate as well. So the combination is going to be fire, really. And it's actually just that. This is the second major arcana. This represents the proper selection. Could be in relationships, could be about love, absolutely. But it could be about a partnership in work. It could be about making the decision to make that move, or, you know, adopt that pet, whatever it may be. That's huge in this month too. I just wanted to bring that up. With Cancer in the heart, and there's more nurturing involved, mothering and so forth, or, you know, paternal, maternal instincts come out with Cancer. Yeah, I love that. I don't really need to say more. It's on, you know, it's beautiful. And it just really fills your heart. It fills your soul to know that, yeah, no matter what age, we're all lovable. We all have that that right to feel love, to give love, to receive love, right? And then also self-love. I mean, if you're not in a relationship, that's awesome too. I know so many people, myself included, single, and very, very grateful for, you know, the people I do love, the people that I do have in my life. It's a really wonderful thing, and it's something that's shining through for you, Taurus. Now the fourth week does represent, as I mentioned, the new moon in Leo, happening on the 28th, as well as Jupiter, you know, retrograding, which is fine. It'll still have its beautiful magic to it. It'll just be slowed down a bit. And then the 31st, wow, that powerful conjunction with you and Uranus being in your sign. North Node in Uranus, it's strong, okay? So who knows what'll come from it. Woo! Well, third major arcana, okay? This is serious business. These messages are very important for you to hear, and it is the moon. Okay, so, you know, there's a lot of passion, powerful things coming up for you. The moon also represents our intuition. It certainly does. And it is the ruling planet of Cancer. So there's definitely more, I think, powerful third eye opening chakra kind of stuff happening. As I mentioned, and I know this first-handedly, and if you don't, I think you will after this, reading. You have great capacity for intuition and, just this knowing. And I think it's going to be very, very strong as well. And, the confusion is there. We had Neptune turn retrograde, not too long ago, but, last month sometime. Forgetting the date. Neptune is the god of the underworld, the unseen, the kind of fuzzy, not so clear, things maybe looking better than they really are, wanting to believe that. And certainly, with it being in Pisces, he's an optimist, the eternal optimist, but being cautious. You've got the crab right here too, and the two dogs barking at the moon, and they're feeling the energies, and of course Cancer does. It's the ruling planet of Cancer. If you do feel unsure and you're not 100% about wanting to make a choice, just give it a few more days, okay, after the moon. Because I feel like the new moon in Cancer has had a beautiful effect on you already and will continue to. So don't feel like you have to rush. If anything, like I said, enjoy, take some time, just be with nature, have your alone time to listen to your intuition, that very small voice, or whisper, if you will, that's, wanting to share things, could come through your dreams. But yeah, that's a powerful reading, is what that is. So I'm going to go on now to the next aspect, and I'm going to pick your rune. And what I do is I actually pick out of this beautiful little red velveteen bag I have. And I pick my amethyst runes, and they're amethyst, and they're great for protection and, psychic healing, certainly intuition, guidance. Usually have one in my pocket at all times. And your rune, which I think looks like an M, it's not the English alphabet, it's the, I want to say Greek. I hope I'm right about that. My gosh, I've done this so many times. My rune flashcards are what are helping me to remember, and I'm getting there, but it's going to be a while. So I have that to help me today as well. We'll simply go through and find out, by looking, although it looks like an M, it could be an E. I want to say E because I think I've done that in the past. I like to do the association. Sometimes it's strictly about memory, but M for magic as far as I'm concerned. But let's see if it's actually an M or an E. I think it's an M. Let's find it. Ooh, okay, here we go. It is an E. Did I say E? You heard me, right? Because really, it doesn't look like an E unless you put it on its side. And I thought one day, okay, that's how I'm going to remember. So thank you. Little by little, and then I have to, of course, coordinate that with the meanings. But I'll tell you what that is. It's Ewaz, and it's the letter E, and it's rune number 19, which I love because 1 plus 9 is a 10. When you have a 10 in numerology, you drop the 0 and it's 1. You start over. And we have talked about this new cycle and transformation that's unmistakable. A huge move, perhaps, certainly a new beginning. Travel, all of the things that the world can represent, and just embracing it, grabbing it, and really utilizing this energy right now. And the theme is horse, and in parentheses, movement. Now that makes me think of, Sagittarius, also a fire sign ruled by Jupiter. So anytime Jupiter's in the mix, there's kind of going to be that feeling with Sagittarius of optimism as well, because that's their ruling planet, as well as Pisces. But the key words you're going to like are travel, journey, trust, and ally, or friend, progress, and transportation. Now we made that clear, and that's what's coming up with this, which makes it very synchronistic, and which is why I love this beautiful divination, because this oracle has always been so tried and true for me, and it's just like the cherry on the sundae for this reading. The magical working shamanic journeys. You can look into shamanic. It's phenomenal. Also very, spiritual. Move ahead, mindful progress, and building harmony. Well, there's that influence of the Jupiter in Aries, which activates the 7th house of relationships, and Libra, which is the polar opposition to Aries. In fact, in another year plus, we'll have these, we're going to have the eclipses be in Aries and Libra. But now, as I said, they're in New Taurus and Scorpio, the polar oppositions there. And Libra has the same ruling planet as you, being Venus. So there's the constant drive and desire for balance, harmony, what was I trying to say? What is that word when you want to compromise? Yes. Fairness, just, all those things. Move ahead, mindful progress, building harmony. The intentional phase, or the key phrases: intentional forward movement, balance between rider and mount. That was the horse, analogy. Travel between physical and spiritual realms. There's that incredible moon, and that is a very spiritual card. And it represents what's happening within you in this transformation, with the North Node being, in your sign, in the Uranus, and the unexpected, and the brilliant, and the fast, and the unmistakable surprises and changes that are occurring. Travel between physical and spiritual realms, a trusted ally or steed, horse. Maybe you are, in fact, involved with horses. What is that called? Equestrian. I don't know how to pronounce it. But I know a lot of people who own horses around the area that I live. And so, yeah, it's perfect. Now, I started to say, and I did, 19, which is number 1. So something's up. Something's up in beginning. There's no question about that. It could be many things with the general reading. But I am going to finish one more card for you for July, and it's going to be what I pulled out from many years ago. Don Miguel Ruiz, The Mastery of Love. Yes, it is something we can master. It's something we all absolutely are here on this earth for. It's what brought us here, and it's what we'll leave here with. So make it the best you possibly can, because it'll go into the next life and so forth. For you, you beautiful, beautiful Taurus, be generous with your love. And we know you are. Just came up for you. You are never going to be alone if you are generous with your love. What makes you happy is love coming out of you. And if you are generous with your love, everyone is going to love you. Well, it makes sense. You open this chakra, this heart chakra, which is already a big part of what's happening this month anyway, and you're definitely connecting to that. Yeah, what you put out is what comes back. This is just a known law of attraction law. So there you go. Look at that beautiful bouquet. And I appreciate once again you being here. Have an amazing July, okay? And I'll be back for August. I hope you will as well. Until then, take great care. Have a great fun month, okay? Thank you. Bye-bye.